So if you're scrolling on YouTube right now, it stands to reason that you are at least a little bit savvy where social media is concerned, right? Maybe you're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter even, Threads, much contested. But you've definitely seen these empires that content creators are building, these global brands, just by posting video content and getting fans all over the world. It's kind of wild, but it just means that there is opportunity out there for the people who are daring enough to show up and share themselves. And I know you've seen it, and I know you've probably found it appealing. I mean, I certainly have. It's part of why I show up. I want to help people globally. But if people eventually knew my name in Australia, I wouldn't be pissed about it. But there's one problem. You have to show up on video. I mean, you could just create a brand that it's images and quotes and all of that, but there's this trust that's missing between you and your audience. And I have found, at least in the year and a half that I've done this, and with the 273,000 people that follow me on TikTok, trust is the most valuable resource I have as a creator and as a business owner. That trust, especially on TikTok and here on YouTube, has only really been able to grow and thrive because of this direct to camera content, because it's like you and I are in the same room together. We're just sort of in FaceTime mode. But then you're scrolling and going, God, I wish I could do this. But then every time you've ever tried to put yourself on camera, you go deer in headlights. It is not it. You don't know what to say. Or maybe you haven't even gotten to the point of pushing the big red button because the idea of putting yourself on camera is just abject horror. Well, I'm actually kind of thrilled that we found each other because I'm Justin Schumann. I've been a Broadway actor. I am an expert storyteller. I'm a CEO of 2 businesses at this point that I've leveraged both to 6 figures. They are both manifestations of my personal brand. And I've used social media as the means for organic growth for both of them. And for the last year and a half and over 300 plus one-on-one clients, I've helped business owners, entrepreneurs, founders, creators, confidently show up on camera, some for the very first time, and share a story that actually helps them know themselves better while simultaneously collecting an aligned audience that's there for them. Real, true fans that lean in and engage because they want to be a part of the conversation. It's like the magic that's missing for most video content creation. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to building brands, growth of an account, and finding an aligned audience that genuinely is there for you, not just for the solution that you can provide. And I want to start this with one quick tip. That deer in headlights feeling that you experience when you push the big red button, you probably think it's there because you just don't know what to say. You don't have the words. What if it's not that you don't have the words, but it's that you don't even know who to be in that moment because you're not in the context of other people? What if you don't know who to be because typically you are who you are because of the cues and the stimuli given to you by people around you, because you are so used to curating and creating a version of yourself built to please others, to stay tolerable, to stay hidden. I'm just putting it out there because from expert, former, still sometimes people pleaser to you, we all deal with it. We are all so afraid of being seen. So then the idea of putting yourself on camera is like this scary ass magnification of, holy shit, what will they think when they really see me? So today I have 3 hacks for you, just quick, easy reframes that will make showing up on camera easier right away when you've heard them. I wanna keep this video short, sweet, and value-packed, so let's jump into it. So I hinted at this before, but your very first reframe is tell yourself when you jump in front of the camera, any words that you do have are the right words. I think there's this fallacy because you watch creators all the time who have been doing this for a very long time or have a background in storytelling and you go, wow, this looks so effortless, this is so seamless. I don't think at all about their creative process while I watch their videos because it just is so natural for them. I wish I could be that natural. The gag is, because you see them being so good at the thing, you endow them with this skill that must be innate. It can't possibly be learned because it looks so easy for them and they clearly know and have the right words. Not true. If you saw this video in its entirety, raw, without any edits, you would see clearly that Justin Schumann does not always have the right words. He stumbles, he falls, he breaks down. He curses at himself a lot through this process. But it turns out when you show up on camera, any words you have are the right words, but you have to decide that. You need to find your way through the story and do the best you can with the resources you have available to yourself in that moment. Trust yourself that you can edit it down later. I don't think you realize that it does not have to come out perfectly the very first time. Take the time to find your words. You can always chop it up in CapCut or any other app you'd like to use later if you just give yourself the space to make a mess of it. Any words you have are the right words. Ultimately, could there be a little more strategy inside of your storytelling? Sure, but I don't care about that yet. And now, frankly, since we've found each other, if you click subscribe, I will help you with that strategy as we go along on this journey. I promise you. Number 2, if you are just waiting to feel confident before you start creating video content, you're gonna be waiting an awfully long time. Because I think there's this idea out there that is incorrect, erroneous, and not really talked about much, that you will feel a sense of readiness before you start to record. No, absolutely not. In fact, you're going to feel the exact opposite. You're gonna go to push that big red button and be like, I don't know anything anymore. Awesome. That is actually where this journey has to start for you, because confidence does not randomly knock on your door and show up one day until you decide to start showing up randomly on most of the days, because confidence ultimately isn't this bravura or pride that some people have and some people don't. It's a skill. It's when being yourself authentically, choosing who you are consciously, and then being that person anywhere, anytime. Confidence is when that becomes habit. You can only form a habit by doing something repeatedly, consistently, practicing. That's what video content ultimately is. It's not like some people have confidence and some people don't. Everyone has the potential to create it for themselves. And the very first time you show up on camera, you are already starting that process. So why not begin as soon as you can? And number 3, someone, I promise you, will care what you have to say. I have heard this so many times before from my clients, from followers. Why would anyone care to hear my story? I'm boring. What could I possibly say that would matter to somebody else? A lot, actually. But it takes you deciding that your story, your experiences are worth sharing and worth being heard. That there's a chance that when you share your story on any of these platforms in video form, that someone across the world might hear those words that they've been needing for so long but didn't have themselves, right? They didn't have the right words, and you were able to provide them with this lens into their own experience because you were willing to be vulnerable and generously share. Someone will care, but you have to show up. You have to open yourself up to being seen so that we have a chance to decide if we care or not. If the videos never get made, we can't make that decision for us. If the videos never get made, we can't find you, period. You have me now, but I'm gonna tell you, you have to believe in yourself first. I say that because I'm definitely gonna believe in you because that's like what I do for my people. But you have to radiate the energy of, I'm doing the thing, knowing that this might not be perfect, and I'm okay with that. And I'm going to take this risk and jump off the cliff and hit post, hit send, hit share, knowing that I'm gonna learn. That this content piece is not the be all end all, that this video is one of thousands that I'm going to make, because my goals matter enough to me. This thing that I want to build matters enough to me. Helping people across the world matters enough to me. That's why we do this. And look, you're basically cheating because we have now found each other, right? You've got a Broadway actor, professional photographer, trauma survivor, PTSD liver wither here. I understand trauma. I understand emotional depth. I understand when life gets hard. And I incorporate all of that knowing and experience into the way that I try and teach every single one of these skills. In fact, I just recently came out with what I'm calling TikTok self-audit for authentic content. And the point is that you can actually start to look at your own accounts and compare it against not the rest of the platform, not the other accounts on TikTok, but with yourself. Even if you've only posted a few videos, even if you've posted one video, you can grab this audit and check the over 30 elements that I have from your account and your content creation just to see how truthfully, how organically are you showing up as yourself? Is this a huge gap that we maybe need to minimize, or are you already doing okay? This is for beginners, this is for people who are just starting, this is for people who've been creating for a long time. And you can grab it right at the link below this video. Take a look at it, $19, super accessible. And once you've done the audit yourself, I would love to hear back from you. You can drop a comment on this video, you can shoot me an email, but regardless, I am thrilled that you're here. If this is not the first video you've seen of me, I'm happy that you're back, old friend. And if this is the very first video of me, then this is kind of the first day of the rest of your content creation life. Let's shift some of this thinking. Let's break down some of these myths that have been keeping you stuck. Historically, content creation has been so gatekept. Fuck that, no longer. I'm glad you're here. I aim to bring you so much value that actually makes sense, and I wanna get you going on this journey. I'm Justin Schumann. Like, comment, subscribe, go check out another one of my videos, and I'll talk to you again real soon.